Like, I was like, bro, in comparison to what, dude? Like, shut up. Like, you come from a rich background. You're a champagne socialist. Like, shut up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. You've probably never done a real job in your life. So it's like, you know, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, like I understand the sort of stress or like but it's like, dude, I'd rather take this than anything.
Than like a real job, right? Like, you know, where you're like working for a boss and being told what to do. At least here you have like the autonomy to like kind of go at your pace and do things. Of course, it's still on you. It's a lot of responsibility. Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but if you make it and you're like building like, especially like what, you know, some of us do really well financially, it's like, it's a blessing, bro. So like, you can't like, again, when you see dead kids on the southwest border in Laredo, Texas, like I did, right, getting eaten by coyotes and like that because they're out there in the brush for days.
Eaten by coyotes?
Yeah, dude. Like the dead bodies are there for a while. Because what ends up happening, right? I don't want to go into a whole explanation of how human smuggling works in the United States, but like when they smuggle these illegal aliens in, they're just looking at them as like dollar bills, etc. So if they can't keep going on with like, because a lot of them are dehydrated, tired, haven't eaten in days, etc. They've been traveling for weeks or months on end, right, in their journey. Like if they can't travel, they'll just leave them out there in the brush. And then like Border Patrol will come across it, they'll find the dead bodies, and then they'll find the tracking, and then they'll find the group, and then they'll arrest the group. And then what'll happen is like a lot of times if the coyote left those people to die, I'll go after them and charge them with like murder. Like illegal smuggling with the murder enhancement because they left them there to die.
Oh, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So like if you, because there's been plenty of situations like this where like a popular place to smuggle aliens also is like when the tractor trailers, you put them in the windjammer on top. Like you can hide 2 or 3 of them, but a lot of them suffocate in there. Or if they put them in the back of trucks, there was a big case like this in San Antonio. Now I was actually involved in a couple years ago. There was like 80 of them in the back of a truck. He left them over there in August, and like 50 of them died.
Yeah, hot.
50 of them died, like, and because he left them in like in a Walmart in San Antonio, and like he didn't give them water, nothing, left them there because he didn't want to get caught, and they died. So like that's an enhancement, right? Or they're running away from like the police, and they got small.
But how do you prove that like those are their people that they're smuggling?
So what ends up happening is like, so when Border Patrol catches a group, right? The first thing they do is they call Homeland Security investigations. They call us, we show up, and they're like, hey, we suspect the smuggler is this guy. Typically as the driver of the car or someone that like that, or the leader of the group. And then the people that are in the group will identify, yeah, this is people call them coyotes, but we call them the principal. This person was a smuggler. And then that's the person, like if someone
and that person's
dies.
Getting paid to do that, right?
Yes. So it's anyone that comes, 90+% of illegal aliens that come into the United States come in through a sophisticated human smuggling organization. And the reason why is because you can't come to the United States and get across the Mexican border unless you pay something called a quota, which is when you pay the quota, you got to pay, typically back when I was on the job, it was like $2,000 to $3,000 to cross the Rio Grande River, right? If it's Laredo, but in other places to cross the border, you have to pay the cartel that's in charge, right? The smuggling organization got to pay the cartel that's in charge because they run the area. So the cartels don't necessarily run human smuggling, but there's human smuggling organizations that operate in their territory that they have to pay the tax to run their human smuggling business. Drug traffickers too. So what ends up happening is when they get smuggled in, it's an organization. There's someone in Mexico that facilitates their smuggling. Once they get into the United States, there's someone on that side picking them up. And then there's a stash house operator.
Insane,
it's a whole, I could go into a whole spiel. Detail. Do you want me to go?
No, it's super interesting to me.
Yeah, human smuggling,
about it.
like there's like a whole like thing on it. There's a Mexican side that's involved in it. There's a national side that's involved in it. There's an American cell that's involved in it that facilitates their smuggling into the country and getting them to their destination city.
How long did you work this job?
I was on from 2013 to 2020. And I specialized in human smuggling, drug trafficking, firearms.
How did you get to that job?
So I was an intern at Northeastern University from 2010 to 2013. And then I did a good job. So I just pretty much was, they converted me from an intern to a special agent. I went to the academy. I was there for almost 7 months. It's in Glencoe, Georgia, FLETC, it's called, Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. I was there. And then I went to my first duty station in Laredo, Texas. And I got there in August of 2014. I left in 2018, 4 years later.
Does that require like much schooling or is it just?
They always send new agents to the border because it's so busy there, dude. They're smuggling drugs and illegal aliens and moving weapons. So drugs and illegal aliens come north, weapons and money goes south. So we're busting, millions of dollars going into Mexico, guns going into Mexico because guns are illegal in Mexico, but they're legal in Texas and they're easy to procure. So what a lot of people do is they're straw purchasers. I worked very closely with ATF, FBI and all this. And, they buy the guns in bulk, and they smuggle them into Mexico. And then those guns are given to the cartels to fight the Mexican Marines. At the time when I was there, the Los Zetas ran Nuevo Laredo, which is across the border from Laredo, Texas, and Tamaulipas, the state of Mexico. And dude, there was a war going on. Like I remember vividly because where I used to live, you go Google this. Google Carmel Apartments in Laredo, Texas. If you look at it, it's right on the Rio Grande River. I could step out from my apartment, dude. I'd hear gunfire all the time, and that was over in Mexico because the Mexican Marines were fighting the Zetas. Because the Zetas are the most militarized. They're called Cartel Noreste now. I think they took over, but they're the most militarized Mexican cartel, one of the most violent, over El Chapo's gang over there. So they were getting in wars like every day. You'd hear the gunshots, and the military had to come in. The police were corrupt. They can't do. So the Mexican Marines versus the cartel. Every day, dude, I hear gunshots. Like
and then he starts streaming,
guns.
and then you hear like other streamers like, "I don't want to stream. I'm addicted to drugs."
This is like
someone left a mean comment on my
So-
YouTube video. I can't stream.
And that's why, like, to me, like, this is the world that I was in for so long. So, like, I come into the entertainment world, right? I'm used to busting houses, and you go in there, and there's loads of coke and money everywhere, illegal aliens, guns everywhere, right? We're going after like really bad people. And you trust the person that's next to you, and then I come into the entertainment industry, and people are coming to my house doing a collab with me, then making me after.
Yeah, makes
so
sense.
to me, it was like, what the fuck is this? It was like a foreign world, but yeah, dude. And then I also did child exploitation too, but like I didn't really investigate the cases.